All right. Hello again, Avengers, and welcome to another exciting episode of Traversing the Veil. Yes, this is one of my homebrew D&D campaigns set in my weird, messed up homebrew D&D campaign setting, and the people below me are the people that are still trying to figure out what they did to cause me to create a beholder dragon. No one has come up with a good excuse yet, but I'm certain they will come up with something eventually. Announcements. I have to mention this. There's only 16 hours left on a Kickstarter for a game called Sentai Insensibility. And the tagline for the game, I'm just going to read it directly from there. Basically, what if Jane Austen wrote Power Rangers? It's Bridgerton meets Kaiju. It is by far the most nonsense, silly thing I have ever heard of. And I 100% will be backing it, if for no other reason than just to claim that I own an RPG called Sentai Insensibility.
I'm just imagining Mr. Darcy going, aye, 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 aye.
It's amazing. The artwork that they have for it is really, really good too. Because it has that very much kind of watercolor, almost impressionistic artwork of Power Rangers in like regular Power Rangers helmets, but wearing like turn of the century aristocracy outfits. And it just, everything about it is great. I love everything about it. So, yeah, definitely check that out. Like I said, it's called Sentai Insensibility. And apparently, the person that's... let's try that again. The person that's making it created a system called the Polymorph system, which is the underlying mechanics that power this game and a bunch of other ones. So... I've been impressed with it thus far. I haven't seen much of anything about it other than what's in the preview, but the bits and pieces I've seen to me are exciting. So, yeah, cool stuff there. Also, just because I like to brag about myself, I have officially been daily vlogging for today. I released my 50-second daily vlog. So,
nice.
Yeah, I'm over 50 of them. Some of them are actually worth watching. And others, like the one today, are like 2 minutes of me going, I kind of slept through most of the day today. And if I don't do this before D&D, I'm not going to get a video out today. So this is my video. Go watch my D&D. Send. And that's that. But, yeah, I had an interesting kind of thought experiment yesterday about how one would go about making an action tabletop RPG and some of the mechanics that would be required to kind of make it feel like you're playing an action RPG, but tabletop version. So that was fun and interesting. Yeah, so if you want to listen to me ramble about nonsense for anywhere from a couple minutes to over an hour every day, youtube.com/TrainerJody is the place to go. I also finished off my 13th Age Designing New Dragon series by making a monk in 13th Age, and it was really fun. 13th Age is super cool, and one of these days I'm going to run a game in it. So, yeah. Anything else happening in the tabletop RPG world right now? Eva Vecna is still coming out in May, I want to say. Wizards of the Coast is partnering with a bunch of different virtual tabletops to get official D&D stuff on them right now, which has been really impressive. Also kind of takes a huge chunk out of the argument that D&D is trying to corner the virtual tabletop market and put every other virtual tabletop out of business. It is never happening. The maps beta or alpha, I think it is, on D&D Beyond is still cool. And they are constantly adding more maps and tokens to it. So if you're looking for something to run very quick battles in, D&D Beyond's Maps Alpha is nice. It will still not replace Roll20 for me because it doesn't have a music option. But other than that, it's nice. And if you're running exclusively Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition content, it is great for that. So, check it out if you haven't. I am neither sponsored nor known about by Wizards of the Coast, so I am not getting paid, nor do they really care about me. Though I do every so often pitch myself as a personal friend of Chris Perkins, based on a single conversation we had at Gen Con one year, where I went up to him and like fanboyed for like a few minutes over him, and then some dude from Paizo came over because they used to work together. And so Chris Perkins, without dropping a beat, because Chris Perkins is probably one of the nicest people that have ever existed on the planet, turns to this dude that he's known and worked with for years and goes, "Hey, have you met my friend Jody?" And I took that as a tacit admission that Chris Perkins and I are best friends.
Aww.
Seriously though, if you ever get a chance to meet Chris Perkins, he is a seriously nice dude. And he called me his friend. I've met him a couple times after that. I don't think he remembers that conversation any way, shape, or form. And I sure as hell am not going to bring it up just so I can continue claiming that me and Chris Perkins are friends. This is how my brain works, guys. Other than that, I think it is time.
As always, Matt Colville, let Dale Kingsmill learn your system.
Yes, Matt Colville. This is an official petition from. Come up with a name for a group. A group that shall remain nameless until we have a name. Calling for the immediate acquisition of Dale Kingsmill to name your game.
Judy, we have a name. It's Flying Fish Sticks.
No, this is specifically the group that Ip and I have formed. That sole purpose is to convince Matt Colville to let Dale Kingsmill name his RPG. Also,
okay.
Dale put a video out of her making ice cream that, from what I've heard, is amazing. So go watch Dale make ice cream. She's Monarch's Factory at on YouTube, and she's awesome. Anyway, now it is time to return to Traversing the Veil. There are times when the world just makes sense. And then there are times where the most mundane process seems to make no sense at all. After fleeing from a fading isle where a large, never-before-seen beholder dragon hybrid proceeded to leave to start a reign of terror, the party decided to head back to Vox's Landing, only to find that the beholder dragon had taken over Vox's Landing and was somehow using it to build some strange altar to itself. After infiltrating Vox's Landing and stealing enough supplies to make it to the nearest city, Exelos, the party left and tried to decide what to do next. Having an abundance of information, but an extreme lack of time, the party was able to make the decision that, due to the interference of people that Smegwick had met during his time at Soul Watch Tower, they decided their best goal was to talk to someone that had more knowledge about Soulwatch Tower, a relative of Aui's friend and comrade from school. The issue with that being that friend was stuck in Airhold, the prison city. And the only way to get that information would either be to become interned there themselves or to sneak in and break them out. Now, the party is in Exelos, attempting to get their ship prepared while also attempting to remain hidden for fear of being captured by the sovereignty. They discovered they are now wanted after they contacted a person that they had saved from assassins many months ago. And that is where we return. Imp, you're not allowed to use points while you're playing the game.
I don't care. What's I'm gonna do with them?
So, let's go back just a little bit. The last time that we played, you guys had effectively had gotten Reggie to create a bunch of disguises for you all, correct? And Arai looks fabulous in his dress.
Arai always looks fabulous.
Meanwhile, I came out looking like I love you, Colonel Sanders.
Ooh, I'm not gonna lie, every time you do your voice, and the first time I heard you, that's immediately what I thought your character would look like. So when you sent me the description again recently, he's like, oh yeah, that's not what he looks like. Well, it is now.
Yeah.
A lot of you guys don't realize that Reggie actually has a pretty extensive repertoire of 11 spells and cantrips that allow him to really just get the exact right flavor to all of his spell work.
By the way, in speaking of all these disguises, Jody, I cannot remember if you actually saw it or not, but I did send you a note, DM on Discord last session, which was January 31st. But I can't remember if you've actually seen it or not, but it involves Reggie's disguise.
Yes, I did see it. I just forgot to reply to it.
Okay, perfect.
Yep, I'm aware. Cool.
All right, awesome. I just wanted to make you aware.
Yepers.
That's all. But,
absolutely. Adore, very thankful that you do that. So,
He sees everything. Even like you post it, and the second you go to delete it, he's already responded. Like you hit enter, and he's already read it, and you hit delete, and he's like, "Oh no, this is a response to that."
Like I have it on my phone, and I don't go anywhere without my phone. So if you guys say anything to me on Discord, in general, bare minimum, I will sit there and I'll just turn my phone on so I can read the little blurb. So yeah, I do. But a lot of this has to do from the fact that my professional life, when I had a professional life, was in retail, and if I didn't answer things immediately, bad things happened. So yeah, I got very used to responding immediately and reading everything as soon as it comes in.
Hi. Apologies for being extremely insensitive, but I never go anywhere without your phone. Then that implies the agoraphobe actually has gone anywhere outside the room for you.
Well, I mean, I go up the few times that I actually leave my room, I go upstairs with my phone. But no, I mean, the reason I say I don't go anywhere without my phone, the room that I live in the basement. I have the entirety of the basement to myself. I do not move from my computer to my bed without my phone. My phone is always within arm's reach of me, is what I say, or is
Okay.
what I meant. And yeah, again, if I go upstairs, I have my phone. I don't go anywhere without it. So, bathroom, have the phone with me. Shower. Fun fact: I can't shower without having PTSD flashbacks. So I bring my phone and I play comedy albums while I'm in the shower. So yeah, John Panette, amazing comedian. Dara O'Brien, amazing. John Mulaney, amazing. What was her name? Taylor Tomlinson, amazing. Listen to their stuff all the time. It's so good. Trying some of the other amazing Google. Anyway, D&D.
Yeah.
So, and to be perfectly honest, that might actually be a symptom of my agoraphobia anyways, because I'm terrified. Agoraphobia, for anyone who doesn't know, agoraphobia is fear of panic attacks. Anyone that tells you it's fear of going outside has no idea what it's about. It's literally fear of panic attacks. It's a poor name. And so yeah, one of the reasons I have my phone everywhere is I'm constantly worried I'm gonna have a seizure or something and be incapable of getting myself up, or that I've hurt myself, and having something that allows me to communicate with someone else helps to assuage a little bit of the anxiety. So the joys of having a broken brain.
That's one of the reasons why I really liked the iWatch that I was given, and then I lost it, or it was taken from my bag, or something weird happened to it. Anyway, was that like if I ever crashed on my bike, I didn't have to find my phone and hope my phone was okay. 'Cause I got a wrist as well. Hopefully, one or the other will work.
I have never even considered getting like a Galaxy Gear or like a smartwatch until you just told me that, and now I want one badly. So that's a new thing that my brain can fixate on. No, I think I've got a buddy that has a smartphone watch thingy, and he absolutely adores it. And he also uses it because it has a heart rate monitor in it. He streams, and so he has this bot or something that links the heart rate monitor in his phone to an app, so that people can use channel points to bring up his heart rate on stream.
Oh God.
Nice.
And it's mostly done when we start annoying him, just to see exactly how much we are upsetting him.
Nice.
So
Yeah,
So
Things
basically,
like
like a Fitbit.
it's a smartwatch. I think it's the iPhone smartwatch thingy, because that's what he uses iPhones. But yeah, so
Yeah, Travis Willing has something like that because more than once, his watch has notified everybody at the table like your blood pressure is suddenly.
Yeah, that sounds like Travis.
when I first started having the seizures and everything, I got a heart rate monitor band thingy just to get like a baseline, and that's when we found out that since panic disorder and everything and all that stuff started happening, my resting heart rate is somewhere between about 98 and 106 beats per minute. Which is, for anyone wondering, that's not healthy. Like, your resting heart rate for normal people is like around the 80s, and for people that have good cardiovascular health can actually be as low as in like the mid 60s.
I was going to say mine is like between 62 to 67.
Yeah. That generally if your heart is only beating once a second, generally means that your circulatory system is working pretty well. So, yeah.
Previous season of Game Changer, they actually had a thing all about keeping trying to keep your heart rate at the resting as much as you could if possible, and the game was pretty much revolved around Sam Rice hissing Lee Mulligan. Can't remember his name now.
Brennan?
Brennan Lee Mulligan. The whole thing was actually revolved around like, let's see if I can piss Brennan off.
Well, years and years and years ago, when I was like, I think I had to have been 18 or 19 because I was with my first girlfriend at the time. I used to have incredible control over my heart rate to the point where I was getting vitals done for I think it was when I was they were going to put me on meds for my depression, and so they're just doing everything, their blood samples and pulse and the cuff, and so because I was in a weird environment and I was panicking, they mentioned, well, your heart rate's a little bit high, it's in the 90s. And I said, oh, okay, and I just started to meditate and slow my heart, and it got down to like the mid 30s before they went, yeah, maybe you want to stop doing that. Like, it's getting really low. Fun fact, I think it was Houdini could slow his heart rate down, which he would use when he was doing underwater escape acts, because it would literally give him more time to get out. Because you technically use less oxygen if your heart is beating slower. So, yeah, and now I can't get my heart rate to go under 90. Anyway, Dungeons and or Dragons. Possibly both. Or Beholder Dragons. Who knows? So, when we last left, you guys had all gotten your costumes on and everything, and you were about ready to exit the ship. My question for you guys is... I can't remember Awie's friend. What's his name? The
Declan.
dragon. Declan, thank you.
Declan.
Declan is going to be docking his ship because, as far as he's aware, he's not on any wanted list. Are you guys? Because I know you guys were hoping to find a dry dock here to do some actual repairs on the ship. Were you guys going to try to dock your ship at Exelos, or were you going to go on Declan's ship to be able to get on so you can go search for a dry dock?
No idea.
Well, I don't know if you just. I mean, I presume we're already on our ship.
Yeah.
And
as of right now, neither ship has docked.
Yeah.
So the decision has to be effectively now if you guys are going to try and dock your own ship, or if you're going to leave your ship kind of out in the Vale and go on the Declan ship to get there, and then call your ship in later when you found a dry dock.
Would it be difficult to find a dry dock, or?
Exelos is not known for its dry docks, and you guys are wanted. So that is what you guys are aware of right now. And that was, my understanding was the decision to go in undercover was made based off of that. Yes, Aoi?
Oh, I thought
There is also the possibility.
Oh, no, you're good.
You're good.
Okay. There's also the possibility that Thomas is also wanted if they bother to remember him.
They might just think he's dead.
Yeah, I mean, the last time his crewmates saw him, he was going in the Vale. So
He was going into the Vale like a teabag.
Also, we call him by a completely different name, so they wouldn't know that it's actually.
Oops.
But you bring up a valid point that no one has thought about. So anyway, that being said, what do you guys want to do? I just realized I have nothing for sound. Let's put some sound on here. There we go. That's what Exelos will sound like in a little bit here.
We may have to.
Alright.
I don't have the list of what the other names were for our ship. So I figure since we docked at the island when it popped up, that was the previous was it Voxus before we ran off to the island.
Yeah, Vox's landing before you guys went to the Fadig Isle.
Because we docked there under fish sticks, so I think we may actually have to ditch that one. I can't for the life of me find that list we had of all the other names.
The only one that Arai's really known us under has been the Flying Fish Stick, so.
Well, make up a name then, so we can move forward. At this point, technically knowing what the name is doesn't really matter. If you guys just tell me we're going to use a different name, we can retcon it later.
Okay.
But this
Okay,
is
we're gonna
Alrighty.
use a different name.
awesome. This is a minute-long decision that has taken 20. So,
I'm
come
sorry.
up. No, it's perfectly fine, but we need to move the story forward, or Beholder Dragon's just going to show up.
Shut up.
Like,
We should name our ship. It's our fault.
No.
yes, the sovereign ship. It's our fault. Is there something you'd like to tell us before you dock?
All
Not
one word.
particularly.
Mm,
I think my favorite thing in the world is someone that goes, oh yeah, the website is really wanted to make a website but couldn't come up with a website name, all one word, and all one word is spelled out.
Yeah.
So I really want you guys to be, yeah, it's all our fault, all one word. This seems just excessive for a name of a ship. Like, how long is your ship?
Well, what are you counting by?
So, that being said, you guys docking the It's Not Our Fault, or are you going in a Declan ship?
Better safe than sorry. Just go from Declan first, and then do
Okay.
a quick scout.
Yeah, because I know the sooner we can get our ship on a dry dock, the better, because then Cracksnake can work on it. But
Yeah.
it'll definitely be safer to go from.
All right. So, you guys come over to Declan's ship, and he slowly makes his way in. And as they dock, the EXO is taking care of like the docking and stuff, and Declan is kind of overseeing getting all the refugees like up and ready to go into Exelos, and you guys are effectively being asked to act like refugees. And so as everything is going, suddenly the EXO just shows up and goes, Declan, sir, we need to have a conversation. Of course. I keep getting your things together. I will be back momentarily. And you see them kind of go off. What would you all like to do?
We got our stuff. Do we have to? What do you want? Anyone?
I'm thinking.
So our plan for. Okay. Where do we want to get to?
Well, first thing we just need to find to locate a dry dock.
Right.
So I'm guessing we need a scout. Try and go looking around.
Where's
We
where's
asked
Spitwit?
the dock.
Where's Spitwit?
He's a
He's with
flying
us.
cat.
It's a flying cat now. He's a Tressum right now. So
yeah.
he's super pissed about it.
No.
Can't we send him?
We kind of need to this kind of needs to be a conversation to have with someone. They see a flying cat, they're just gonna hey, a flying cat. What do you want,
Yeah, I
buddy?
mean-
And
Magic familiars are not uncommon in the Sovereignty. It's still weird to see one flying around without a wizard nearby. And especially a
Yeah,
Tressum, which is not an extremely common familiar type. It's significantly more common to have like an owl or a rat or something like that.
Yeah, or he would have to be extremely, like, kitty sneaky.
Which I mean is theoretically possible. There's an entire game about a cat just exploring places.
Like libraries.
Yeah.
Yeah. Library
Make
cats.
me hot cocoa. Poof.
so I think the first thing to do is as soon as we get there, probably ask the dockmaster and see if they have any ideas about if there's a
Okay.
dry dock somewhere we can go.
That would be more. That would be possibly easier. Yeah.
So as you guys are having this conversation, you see Declan come back in with the EXO and 2 Sovereignty Marines.
Uh-oh.
So Declan comes in. Just to let everyone be aware, apparently there has been an incident from the area that we're returning from, and so in order to ensure the safety of the populace of Exelos, everyone is going to be required to have a brief screening with the Sovereignty Marines. They tell me it is a particularly painless procedure. It is just to ensure that no one has been exposed to... What did you say happened, Sergeant? And one of the Marines goes, there was a breach in the veil. Some of the underveil was able to come up and infect various parts of the Fading Isles. We are simply ensuring that no one brings any underveil particles into the city, which could have disastrous effects. You should all be very safe. We don't foresee this being a particularly difficult thing, and we do have various techniques to purify the body of these veil particles. We just need to locate them.
Arai gasps.
Okay.
Well, I do say.
Bloody hell.
Yes, Ari?
Would this include having to off screen undressing?
We don't believe there will be any need to disrobe. We have various spells and things that should be able to detect the underveil particles on you. You will simply have to be scanned a few times by a few of our magic-using Marines, and you will be required to submit to a conversation.
Okay, if you guys are...
Apparently the veil particles can mess with your cognitive abilities. So, a simple simple conversation should be able to discern if we have anything to be worried about.
I want to do an insight check on this guy.
Go for it.
Yeah.
Me too. Did we?
It's obvious, but
Did we catch that slip up?
Yeah. Anyone that heard him change interrogation to conversation can have advantage on the insight check.
Yep.
Thank God, because my first roll was a 5.
Nat 20.
18.
I had to. I got a natural 19.
Okay. So total for you, Smegwick?
22.
22, and then total for you, Aoi?
Let me just remember what my yeah, I didn't pull up G&D Beyond before we started this, but
A shame.
I know.
Naughty. Well, anyway, I know enough here. So, as as far as you guys can tell, this person is saying something that he has been told to say that he himself...
That's a 22.
Okay, cool. So he himself doesn't believe it as far as you guys can tell, but he also... you guys can tell that he wants to talk to every single person on there, and this is the excuse that he's using to be able to do that.
Because my question was going to be, is this guy making up an excuse to detain us?
as far as you can tell, like everybody is going to be detained on the boat that's coming off. But as
Yeah.
far as you guys can tell, it doesn't look like this was this guy's idea. Like it is very obvious to you guys that he is repeating something that he's been told to repeat, but he is not. He's not against the idea. Like he seems completely fine and complicit with the idea that they're going to use this excuse to be able to talk to every single person on the boat. So, if you all would form a line to go down the gangplank, there will be Marines there that will direct you to the various tents where any pauses this time, conversations will occur. Yes, well, I'll be sure to make sure that they are exactly where. Let me just go ahead and get everyone ready for you, Sergeant. I think that will be the best thing for everyone here. My executive officer here will show you off of the boat. And the XO just turns over and is like, with me. Takes him off. So, yes, I don't think this is anything to be worried about. People just, have a brief conversation with them, and I think everything should be perfectly fine. And he looks at you, Owie, and you guys kind of developed this look when you were in school that basically meant meet me somewhere else. I have something to tell you.
Yeah.
The last time that this look was used in school, it was about something funny that he couldn't say in front of the other students because it was insulting to the teacher. But the look that you're getting right now looks significantly more dire. He goes, I am just going to very briefly go back to my quarters to make sure everything is in order there. So, as I said before, just get all of your stuff, go ahead and form a line, and my XO will ensure that everything goes smoothly. All right? And you watch him kind of walk off.
I'm gonna go talk to Declan for a bit, okay?
All right, go right ahead.
Yeah. I rush up behind him.
Okay. So as he goes to his quarters, you watch him walk straight past it and kind of turn down to another part of the ship. What do you do?
Okay.
I will be right back.
Okay.
I do follow him, but cautiously, hoping that can I do an insight check on the way?
Sure. Go ahead and roll me an insight check.
Okay. 6.
Okay. So yeah, so many things are happening right now that it's a little bit difficult, and he's moving so quickly. It's a little bit difficult to get any kind of a read on him. But are you still going to kind of continue following him?
Okay.
Okay. So after kind of going past his quarters, you kind of go to a place. You watch him actually go down. There's a kind of side passage that goes below decks up here. That's your understanding is this is normally used by like the kitchen crew and stuff to bring up meals to him without having to go through the entirety of the deck. And as soon as you kind of round the corner and kind of look down, you can see him at a landing about 5 feet down, just kind of waiting for you and motioning for you to come down.
Okay.
Oh, good. I was worried it had been so long since we had used that particular sign. I wasn't sure if you would pick up on it. I mean, you and I both know that excuse of the veil infecting people is complete malarkey.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I have never seen the Sovereignty do anything like this before. And we have a proud history in my family of serving in the sovereignty. This worries me immensely, and it seems that they are particularly trying to find someone in particular.
To pin the blame on.
I don't know what it is that they're trying to do. Thus far, they've not admitted anything other than some sort of veil leak, which makes no sense, but whatever. I would strongly encourage you and your friends be very careful if you submit to these things. However, the reason we are meeting here and not in my quarters is the entirety of the ship is under surveillance right now. I will not be returning to the deck via that stairway. I will be going down to the kitchen and making my way from the bottom deck to try and remove any suspicion as much as possible. I would highly recommend you find an alternate way out as well. I have no idea if we were seen coming this direction.
Oh, God. Okay.
I am sorry you've been involved in this, Aoi, but chin up and all that good things. I wish you the best, but for now I must protect my crew and the passengers that I have sworn to protect. Good day. And he wanders off.
I rush back to the group as are there like any guards on the way that I pass?
Go ahead and make me a perception check.
Oh, God. Yeah, but one.
You are so fixated on the knowledge that you have just gotten that you could have walked right past a guard and you wouldn't have noticed them. You are very much kind of in your own head right now.
Yeah, that's typical.
But if you'd like to try and be kind of sneaky, go ahead and make me a stealth check with disadvantage.
No. I'll go as briskly as I possibly can. I think trying to be sneaky is in the back of my mind right now.
Okay. So probably about 10 minutes after Aoi left, you see her come back in. You notice that her scales are a little bit paler than they were before, and she obviously seems upset. So you're able to come back to the rest of your party, while the rest of the refugees have already started kind of forming the line, and they're slowly but surely getting processed.
We gotta find the right place to talk.
Yeah, we're kind of getting ready to queue up. I don't think we can take too long or it'll look suspicious. What's up?
Recommend the same thoughts we do. It was like they're looking for someone to blame.
Could be.
Of course they are.
Yeah. Just remember to keep it simple. We were on the island because there are a bunch of adventurers that are there. If anything goes down, just remember we didn't make it as far as the island because no one else did.
Okay.
As far as the ruins.
We made it to the mushroom trees.
Yeah, we can pretty much say everything else we went up against, like the bog gas. We want to talk about that. It's all kinds of weird shit.
Yeah.
Talk about all that stuff. Hell, we can even talk about the part about witnessing the trial.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, he did advise that we have, like, did he say that we could have a route of escape available, did he, or?
He didn't say anything like that. He kind of implied that if you could find a way off the ship without going through customs effectively, that wouldn't be a bad idea. So if you guys, I think he said if you can find another way off the ship or something akin to that.
Oh, I'm sorry. He's advising us to completely try to avoid the queue.
He made that inference. He wouldn't. He would never
Okay.
outright say something like that.
Yeah.
It's just not in his nature. But he did kind of infer the idea that if there were another way off the ship, it might not be the worst idea to use it.
Are they offloading any cargo?
No, the only cargo that they're offloading is refugees.
Well, I don't know. Like last minute, I don't know of anything we have that we could any way to avoid them in particular. Um, there's really only one way off the ship, unless we do some magical shenanigans. But they could also be watching the ship, so we have to be careful about that.
Yeah, they are watching the ship.
So distractions.
I have one idea.
Are we
Well,
lighting
I-
the dock on fire? I mean, yes.
I have one idea. I have the start of an idea, but it could be something workable. Jody, all of the Marines that we can like visually see where we are right now, they're all wearing like the exact same uniform, right? The same type of armor.
Yeah, for the most part. The only real difference is some Marines will have kind of little customizations that they've added to their armor. Sometimes it'll be medals or other kind of acknowledgement kind of things, or other times it'll just be like maybe they'll have a different shoulder pad or something because they got it during a campaign. But for the most part, they look relatively the same.
Okay, I want to do a perception check looking at all of the other refugees that are basically being shepherded off of the ship. I want to see if like small groups of them are being escorted by like one or two guards to like separate places for these conversations, or if all of these people are going to like the same location as far as we can see, because I have an idea,
Awesome.
but
Go ahead and,
I want to check that first.
go ahead and make a perception check.
Ooh, 19.
19. So what it looks like is as everyone gets to the gangplank, it goes down. When they get to the end of the gangplank, there is a single officer that's standing there with a clipboard. He asks a few questions. He's far enough away that you can't really tell what he's saying. But he asks a few questions, writes a few things down, and then he will turn to kind of a rotating group of Marines. And each person will be taken to one of 6 different tents that have been set up on the docks by a Marine. And then when they're done, they'll generally be anywhere between about 3 or 4 Marines that are standing there just waiting to take the next person to the next tent. So effectively,
Okay.
they all go to at least one of 6 tents, but each tent is individual, and they're always accompanied by a Marine to the tent. And each tent has 2 guards outside.
Okay. I have one idea. It could get a little complicated, so I'm not even sure if this will work. So if this won't work, just tell me right now, Jody.
Okay.
My idea is I'm going to cast invisibility on myself. Sneak off of the ship solo. Everyone else would stay behind. And then once I find some cover, I'm going to use disguise self on myself to make myself look like one of the Marines and time it so that when the rest of the party gets off the ship, I would be their escorting guard.
Okay. Roll me an Arcana check. Or History check,
oh.
whichever one you would prefer.
They're both the same +2, so I'm gonna go with Arcana.
Okay.
Hey everyone, if you're watching live, did you know you can affect the channel directly in the game what you're watching right now? Channel points.
Well, apparently those channel points would be very much needed because I rolled a 4.
You have reroll tokens?
Yeah, as far as you can tell,
Inspiration.
the quote-unquote science behind it makes sense.
Would I would I be able to help with that at all, since I was, even for a brief moment, a Marine?
If he had talked to you guys about this, you could.
Ah.
However, he hasn't. This is all a plan in his head as of
Okay.
right now. He hasn't shared it with you guys. So if when he shares it, you have an idea, I'll let you make a roll.
Because Reggie's mindset, and by extension my mindset, is he wanted to see if it would work first and then bring it to attention. Because if it wasn't going to work, what's the point?
Yeah, as far like you don't see any glaring flaws in the idea behind it. Like you should be able, like that's exactly how invisibility works. You should, as long as you're sneaky enough, you should be able to get past. You can. It won't be fun because there's not a lot of room on the gangplank, and seeing just a random hole where people are supposed to be is a
Yeah.
dead giveaway. But you think theoretically it should be possible. It's just going to be difficult. And then there are many spells that can allow you to mimic the appearance of someone else that you are very, very familiar with, just being a bard in general. Misdirection and things like that are kind of in your wheelhouse. So the various parts of this theoretically should work from a magical perspective. Like there's nothing in your magical knowledge that would say, well, that's not how the spell works.
All right. All right. Colonel Sanders is going to turn around to face everyone. All right. It's a little iffy, but I think I might have an idea for us to get off of the ship. Take a look. You can see everyone. They get herded off of the ship. Then once they do go through like that little check-in process, the rotating guard then takes that small group, takes them off to a separate tent. I'm assuming that's where they have these conversations. I'm gonna go invisible, sneak off, make my way into that group of guards, use my disguise magic, make myself look like one of those guards, and I'll try to become your escort guard. But instead of taking you to a tent, as soon as we get into a tent, we'll just exit out the other side and we'll try to sneak away.
But there looks to be
The tent that's going to have someone in it.
Yeah, a tight queue, but so wouldn't they normally see like be suspicious of such an empty space?
Never said it was perfect. It's just the idea I came up with. Because I'm assuming there aren't really any. There's guards like actually on the ship making sure like anyone who hasn't unboarded from the ship yet doesn't do anything funny, right?
They're not really there for that. They're mostly there to kind of organize. But there's a grand total of 2 guards that are physically on the ship. And the crew of Declan's ship are working with the Sovereignty Marines right now to kind of organize people into it because they have no reason not to. You know, again, the Sovereignty is the government. You know, there's nothing they have said right now is illegal or immoral in any way, shape, or form. So there is no outright reason that this ship would try to fight against them. Like, they have the legal authority to do this, and nothing they have said blatantly would imply any sort of ulterior motive to this.
Yeah, and even if like he were able to like sneak past them, but there would be other witnesses. Right?
I mean, Reggie finding a spot to become invisible is like 100% in his wheelhouse. Like, again, it's kind of what Reggie does. So finding an inconspicuous spot to become invisible is not the difficult part of this plan. And finding
that's what happens afterwards. Like, suddenly, like, is that involved like knocking out a guard or something?
To my understanding, he didn't mention
Oh.
knocking
okay.
anyone else, just simply attempting to replace
Oh, okay.
someone. I will, Smegwick, if you want to roll me a history check due to your military service.
Should I also roll due to my marine background?
I would say yours is mostly theoretical because you haven't actually
true.
served. So I would say
Yeah.
in this particular instance, this is kind of like the difference between someone that's heard
Yeah.
about working in a field and someone that's actually worked in the field. There's just certain
Okay.
things that
Yeah.
you learn from actually doing it that you're never really told. Kind of the unwritten rules.
Yeah.
So Smegwick, what you got for me?
I'll
16.
16? Okay. Did you have... sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, Aoi. Did you have other stuff you wanted to say?
no, that's fair.
Okay. Cool. So, kind of looking at what's happening here, the entirety of the troops that are doing this is relatively small. We're talking about maybe a company total. I think that's the right word. My knowledge of military differentiations of size is failing me right now. This is a small enough group to where if somebody just showed up, they would be incredibly out of place. Like everybody here, like there's only maybe 20 or 30 guards total doing this. If another person just randomly showed up, they would immediately kind of understand that this person didn't belong, and that person would have to have some kind of good excuse as to why a member of a completely different company was coming in to do a relatively mundane job of taking prisoners to an interrogation. So that's what you would know from your military service, Smegwick.
Well, if smart, if you come in hard and fast and just basically come in saying, uh, your commanding officer ordered you to grab several of the refugees for whatever. They didn't even tell you what, just told you to grab some. Totally believable. You come in hard and fast, give them that, and just appear to pick totally random people.
That actually might work. Not only that, I mean, okay, this might be a bit far off because I'm just trying to make sure I'm remembering everything correctly. The island where all the stuff went down with like the ruins and like the monster hunting and the mushroom forest, there were Marines there, right? Or was it just like those hunting organizations?
There was not a sovereignty presence there. It was entirely private parties.
So pretty much it's kind of safe to assume that all of the Marines that are here right now looking for us are pretty much just know about us from just like word of mouth of like what happened on that island.
Yeah.
So they don't really have any like idea of what we look like.
The idea that they could have physical descriptions of you guys already would be pretty hard. Like, theoretically, with magic, a lot of stuff is possible, but even that is spreading it a little bit thin. More likely than not, and this would be another thing at Smegwick you would understand, compartmentalization in the military is the rule of thumb. Like, it's the norm rather than the exception. So a lot of times...
this is not a special task force looking for us. This is them putting out, at best, an APB.
Effectively, yeah.
If they are looking for us, the twist could be they're not looking for us specifically.
Yeah, like they may not be looking for you specifically, and even if they are, the likelihood of the people here knowing anything beyond possibly a physical description of what you looked like on the island is really, really low. These people here, even the high-ranking quote-unquote officers here, there's a first lieutenant, and then you heard one of them is sergeant, which sergeant is enlisted, so they're a non-commissioned officer. So as far as like high-ranking individuals, first lieutenant is one of the lowest officer ranks you can have. You haven't even really gotten to the point where you're given a complete command as a first lieutenant. You just can issue orders. And it means that you're no longer a second lieutenant, which is the lowest officer rank that nobody appreciates. So it's not like these are not high-ranking officials. There are no generals here. There are no admirals. Nothing like that. And I realize that I'm mixing up officer ranks because the Navy just uses nonsense officer ranks, including ensigns and stuff like that. But effectively, and I don't know my naval ranks anywhere near as I do literally every other branch of the military.
You're like, what the heck is a yeoman?
That's enlisted. That's not even an officer rank.
Oh.
Yeah,
I would probably.
I mean, does HRO even, like, keep track of that?
Say
Probably
it one more time.
does. I was saying, does HRO even keep track of that while he's writing One Piece? Because it's Oda, probably.
Yeah, the enlisted ranks start at seaman and then go to petty officer. And that's it for the Navy, is they just do seamen and then petty officers, and then that's more. There we go. Yeah, and then it's ensign, lieutenant JG, lieutenant, then lieutenant commander, commander, captain, rear admiral, vice admiral, admiral, then fleet admiral, and there's a lower half and upper half of the rear admirals. So anyway, what you guys would be seeing here is closer to just a regular lieutenant junior grade is what you would be looking at, because lieutenant in the Navy is the equivalent to a captain everywhere else in the U.S. military. So yeah, single bar lieutenant JG is what you're seeing here. So again, you're basically, if you want to normalize it, this is an O2 ranking, meaning officer 1 is your lowest rank, officer 2 is the next one up. So none of these people, to get all of this rank out of the way, none of these people would be a high enough rank to have been told much of anything beyond, hey, you need to do this. Compartmentalization is extremely common, and a lot of times you'll be given orders without explanations. So.
Well,
I say
then,
even if you can get other people off, it would be good to have at least someone go through to know what they're looking for, so we know what to avoid.
you know, if they really have that much of a lack of information on what happened on the island, maybe we're making this more complicated than it has to be. Why not go through with it and we just give them false information and we just make it convincing? Like, we try to make them look for different people.
We don't know what they're looking for specifically. That's the crux. And also, this is wholly an illegitimate thing. I mean, you and I picked it up. It's not an actual questionnaire. They're interrogating, looking for something. Come in hard and fast. Don't say you got orders from a captain. Say you come in from the order, like, and because we've been banding about so many different ranks here. Whatever the lowest rank is below that, that way it's like, because shit rolls downhill, and you were told to grab.
All right. So I guess the question is, what rank am I saying gave me the order?
Well, the highest ranking officer you've seen is Lieutenant JG. The one
Lieutenant
above that
JG.
is a lieutenant. Above that is lieutenant commander, commander, and then captain. Anything higher than a captain, you're dealing with the admiralty, and that throwing around an admiral's name is not a good idea in general. But captains,
Even I know that.
captain and lower, captain is the equivalent to a colonel in everywhere else. So,
Okay.
so captain, commander, or lieutenant commander would all rank out, and technically lieutenant would all outrank this particular person.
My advice, say lieutenant commander. That way, basically, it's shit rolling downhill.
All right. So, go invisible.
Come in running like not running full pelt like a stiff brisk. They don't like, unless someone's really shit hits the fan. They don't expect you to like be in a hurry, but don't like let other people see you be in a hurry. You know what I mean?
So don't show it as a panic, but it is something urgent.
You were given orders to move your ass.
Given orders to move ass by the lieutenant by the lieutenant commander. And we'll just say, like, we've got recent descriptions. We have to do a random check to see who fits the description. I make it random, pick all of you out, take you someplace secure, and we get the hell out of here.
Yeah.
All right. Wish me luck. And I cast invisibility on myself.
Okay.
All right. So that is 1 second level slot. Do I have to roll anything to...
You're going to tell them you're looking for people with specifically our...
No, grab random people and it happens to be us. That's what I said.
Make it look random, but it's you guys.
Yeah.
Right. You said that fits our descriptions.
I'm thinking out of my ass. My brain's going 100 miles an hour because I'm nervous about all this.
Okay.
All right. Jody, do I have to make a roll to like sneak off of the ship without causing a disturbance too much? Even though
Yeah,
I'm invisible?
it'll be a stealth check. It would normally invisibility to give you advantage, but you'd also have disadvantage from the fact you're doing something very difficult. So it'll just be a flat roll.
Could
Perfect.
we? Oh, I was gonna say, could we assist with that? Because if we know, I would imagine we like stumble, be careful, because like plank and like.
Yeah, no. Multiple instances of advantage and disadvantage in 5e
Yeah.
don't matter. We've already got one advantage and one disadvantage, so it's a flat
Cool.
roll.
Okay.
Okay. So, and you said this was a stealth check?
Stealth check. Yep.
All right. That is my best stat.
You can't inspire yourself, can you?
I cannot. And I don't think I have time. Plus, to sell my Colonel Sanders disguise, I don't have my violin with me. But that being said, though, for my stealth check, rolled a 15.
15. Cool. So, as you are going around, getting down the gangplank is probably the most difficult part. And so you're doing everything that you can to kind of avoid creating a scene. And it takes you the better part of about 45 minutes to get all the way down just because of how careful you have to be. But eventually it finally gets to the point where people are starting to break off and getting that. And so as you take probably about 4 steps, one of the guards in front of one of the tents points directly at you, and you see his lips move, and you feel magic around you casting, and suddenly your invisibility is gone as a dispel magic is cast.
Oh, God damn it.
And you hear someone, "Lieutenant!" And you see that, and he just kind of snaps his fingers, and 4 Marines just appear around you and start attempting to tackle you to the ground.
I'm still in my Colonel Sanders disguise, right?
Yeah, unless you
I don't-
decide to change it.
No, I did not.
Okay. So what I'd like you to do is I'm going to have grapple checks on you. So
Oh,
strength
jeez.
athletics versus you can choose either strength athletics or acrobatics dexterity.
Let me see.
But I'm going to give you disadvantage because there's 4 people at once trying against you. So first check is going to be 24.
So I have to beat that number or something?
Beat or match it with either a strength athletics or dexterity acrobatics.
It would have to be dexterity acrobatics because I have a higher number and that I got +6. But you say I have disadvantage.
Disadvantage, yep.
Damn.
I'm screwed. Oh.
Lower number 19.
19. So not enough. So as you're sitting there, you feel your invisibility spell just end as a dispel magic is cast on you. And then there are 4 very muscle-bound armored people that just pile on you. And before you even know what's happening, you've got a guy on each arm kind of hoisting you up, and another person that's going behind to try and put manacles. This is on you
Oh, no.
as you're attempting to resist. And you watch as the Lieutenant JG comes over. So, seems that we have a bit of a stowaway. Someone get me Captain Declan. We need to have a conversation about whether he recognizes this particular person. And a few moments pass, and Declan is there. Yes, you wish to speak with me, Lieutenant? Yes. This man was detected attempting to sneak away from your ship. Are you attempting to hide people on your ship? Are you smuggling humans? You know, human trafficking is an incredibly serious offense that could result in us impounding your ship, arresting the entirety of your crew. You might spend the rest of your life in air hold for something so grave. So, exactly what's going on here? And Declan kind of goes over and looks you up and down. I can honestly say, I have never seen this person before in my life. I've never had someone that looked like this on my ship for any length of time. They are foreign to me. I've completely, to be perfectly honest, I mean, why would I want someone like that on my ship? I mean, obviously, how do you even know they came from my ship? What if they were someone here? There's enough people here. I mean, this is prime situation for pickpockets and the like. Though a pickpocket dressed as extravagantly as that would be quite strange. Anyway, I am fully willing to cooperate with whatever investigation or prosecution you have of this particular person. If you would prefer, since you seem so busy here, you're more than welcome to use members of my crew. We are very adapted at dealing with stowaways and things like that. If this person somehow is on my ship, which I sincerely doubt, I have a first-rate crew. We have not had a stowaway in the entirety of the time that I've been captain of this ship. So I just do not find it likely that he could have come from my ship. But if you have a lack of men here, obviously you're very busy, feel free to use my men. I will tell them to listen to your orders as if they were my own. You know, it's so refreshing to have someone respect authority and be so forthcoming with their help. Fortunately enough for you, it seems that your crew is very busy. I certainly can find more people to help me with this particular specimen. And he starts getting closer.
Oh, I do not like how he
Yes.
said that.
Yes. I think I should have no problem interrogating this person. Thank you for your time, Captain. I'm certain your little ship can't survive without her captain, now can she? No, my little ship probably needs her captain very much so right now. And you watch him just about face and walk his way back up the gangplank. Well, my good friend, I think you and I are going to have a wonderful time. Ensign, and he kind of points over to someone. Oh, no. Sergeant, I will leave you in charge of this. I am going to take care of this particular nuisance personally. If you would make a report, request another officer and interrogation team to meet me in my personal tent over there, that would be lovely. Thank you very much. Soldiers, if you would bring our new prisoner with me, I want to get started at this immediately. And you guys watch as they take Reggie off of the docks somewhere else that you guys can't see.
I feel so unclean right now with this guy. My God.
So, what do the rest of you guys want to do? Just get
Okay,
in.
so everyone. So let's be everyone's seen this happen, right?
Oh yeah, big. They made a big deal about it.
Fuck.
Okay.
The people on the ship right now are kind of gossiping, going, "Who's that? I don't remember seeing them. Actually, wasn't there a person? No, no, no. We saw nothing." You're just getting all these little ripples of conversations and stuff like that.
Is there how big is the group of refugees?
Overall, there's probably about 60 to 70 people in total, including you guys.
Excellent. Okay, we also see where the direction Reggie's being
Yeah,
taken off to, right?
you saw like the area that the dock of the dock that you're on is not
Yeah.
particularly big. You guys are at
Yeah.
one of the larger docks because the ship is huge.
Okay.
And so basically, what happened is the entire kind of landside portion of the dock has been taken over by these various tents for
Yeah.
interrogation.
Okay.
He basically went past all those tents and went down a street that goes off of the docks, and that's where you guys lost him because there's buildings in the way.
Okay. All right. There's enough people here. Actually, I think Captain Dickhead over here actually gave us the ammo we need. Basically, we need to do a rumor mill. We need to make everyone really paranoid and get everyone really nervous about just seeing a bunch of Marines just arbitrarily snatch someone up. Create enough of a distraction. They'll basically get called in. They shouldn't be anything. If they do anything too out untoward on an entire group of refugees, it makes everybody look bad. Worst case scenario, they have to make a big show of being a force. They'll be able to quell it fast enough. We just need to make it enough of a distraction. There's 60 people here. We should be able to do that. You okay, kid?
Okay.
Just basically go around saying, "Hey, did you just see that?" Apparently, they're already reaching out. They're just snatching his refugees up, just doing all kinds of stuff. Who knows what they're doing?
Okay.
They have like this. Nothing like this has ever happened before. Now they're doing this. How's that make you feel? Oh man, is anyone else missing? Do you know if anyone's else missing? These are a bunch of people. They don't know.
Okay.
So if that's what you guys want to do,
Any different ideas?
Oh, sounds good.
I'm gonna let you guys. I'm gonna need just a few
Team shitsters on 3. Yeah.
a few charisma checks from you guys. I will let you guys decide if you want to use persuasion, deception, or intimidation.
Hey.
Oh, we're
What?
both face lines turned to shit. I'm going for deception.
I'm gonna have everyone make me three
Okay.
charisma based checks, whichever ones you want to make.
Okay.
So since this is Smegwick's idea, let's start out with Smegwick.
Okay, 3 in a row.
3 in a row. Yuppers.
Oh, no. Okay. Yeah, not too bad. Okay. In order, 15, 12, 24.
Cool. All right, let's go with you next.
25, 18, 17.
Cool. Owie, what you got for me?
Okay. 21. 11. And 16.
Okay. So between the three of you, this went from a very orderly, kind of mundane line forming process to a near riot. Like it started off as just people kind of going around, "Hey, did you see? They just tackled that dude for no reason," and then started going, "Oh my God, did you guys hear? Apparently, they didn't like him, but because he said something mean to, or he didn't respect the lieutenant well enough, and so he just had his men." And the rumor started as just like, wow, they just tackled him for no reason. To the
Because the
lieutenant
great thing
is,
about a rumor about starting from 3 people is you have 60 people to build off of.
yeah, it goes from this tiny thing of, oh, they just tackled a dude for no reason, to the lieutenant is power hungry. He has done this completely without any authority from this as a sovereignty, and he's doing this to kidnap and enslave people.
There's been all that whispering because I imagine someone was able to hear the words human trafficking.
Yeah. Yeah, so now this is changed from, oh, they're just going to ask us some questions, to they're going to strip search you, and then you're going to disappear and you're never going to be seen ever again, and you're going to be sold into slavery. And put on the front lines of the elemental wars, and yeah, it's just, it is and so people are just yelling and screaming, going, I'm not gonna go there, and I'm not gonna comply. You won't force me to the front lines. I decided not to serve by mine. Conscription is evil. Conscription is slavery, and all this stuff. And the lieutenant, and this takes up the better part of about 30 minutes for you guys to fully get this stuff going. But by the time that it's going, the lieutenant is doing everything he can, or the sergeant is doing everything that he can to keep people calm. And he's like, this is not what's happening. No, you stop that. Men, go over here. And he's starting to kind of order the troops to become a little bit more aggressive. But you guys outnumber the troops easily 3-1.
Help, I'm being oppressed.
While all of this is happening, Reggie, you are taken down a few alleys, and you eventually find this kind of strange camp, like makeshift camp that's been set up in just kind of a I can't think of the word right now. Just an open area in this is a city. They've kind of turned into this makeshift base camp. And as you're brought in, he comes in, and you can see a captain standing there making orders and stuff like that. And this Lieutenant JG comes up. Captain, he comes over. Lieutenant, I think I have found something just absolutely perfect for you. This man right here, he was attempting to break the quarantine, and I have captured him, and I am going to interrogate him, and I think we have found exactly what we were looking for. And the captain just looks at him. Lieutenant, your job was to take the people and make sure that they get in front of one of our arcane investigators, not to make arrests. I don't understand how you misunderstood this. I have told you this 4 times. He turns to you. You, what is your name?
Jacob Barley, sir.
And Jacob, exactly what have you done to upset my lieutenant?
Well, sir, I do regret to say I get a little nervous around armored crowds such as himself. I wanted to try to sneak away.
And he puts his hand up, and despite you not having any reason to stop talking, just the kind of force of the action and the kind of authority that he has, you feel this compulsion to just stop talking for a moment.
Okay.
I don't want your life story. I want to know what the hell you've done to piss off this very excitable junior grade lieutenant.
Sneak off the ship, invisible, cutting the line.
So let me get this straight. Lieutenant, junior grade. You want to interrogate someone for line cutting. Well, no, see, he was using, did I ask for an explanation? Or did I ask a yes or no question? Well, see, Captain, exactly what I don't think you're quite understanding how questions work, Lieutenant. Let's try this again. When I ask a yes or no question, your response starts with sir, follows yes or no, depending on the situation, and then ends with sir. Do we have an understanding? Well, you see, that doesn't sound like sir, yes, sir, or sir, no, sir, doesn't. Sergeant! And he has someone come over. Did that sound like a yes or a no, sir? No, sir, it didn't. I didn't think it sounded that way either. Maybe my hearing is going bad. Let's see. Who else can we could call in over here? I don't know. Sergeant Major.
Third base.
Why don't you come over here? And you see this very kind of grizzled older gentleman that despite his age, you would never want to upset. And he comes over. Yes, sir. I'm having a hard time with my ears. See, I asked a very simple question, and the response that I asked for was a sir, yes, sir, or a sir, no, sir. Yes, sir. I heard you ask the question, and I heard the response. Did it sound like it started with sir to you? No, sir, it did not. That's what I thought, too. And the sergeant over here agrees with me, don't you, Sergeant? Yes, sir, that's exactly what I think. So, either all three of us have hearing problems, and therefore we should probably go get checked out, or, and he turns back to Lieutenant, you do not understand my very simple question, so we're going to ask this one more time. And then if you do not answer the correct way, well, you and I are going to have a very long conversation. And that's not a conversation I want to have right now. Right now, I have a shit ton of work to do that I have to stop my time and my troops to talk to someone who is caught cutting line. Is that what you are asking me to do, Lieutenant? Sir, yes, sir? Well, that sounds like a huge waste of resources, but you know what? I think this is a great learning experience. I think that this could be a fantastic way for you to learn how a true officer acts. When they decide to waste the time of not only their troops, but my troops, they do whatever it takes to make it right. And you know what I think needs to happen to make this right? You see those people over there? Those seamen over there have been working for 4 hours, getting everything set up so that we can have a meal in about an hour here. And they look very, very tired. Sergeant Major, do they look tired to you? Yes, sir. They look incredibly tired. I think they look incredibly tired as well. You know what might make them feel a lot better? No, sir. I'd love to hear what you think. It'd make them a lot better. I think it would be great for them to have the rest of the day off. Oh, yes, sir. I think that they would really enjoy that. But you know what? There's still potatoes to peel, and there's still dishes to wash, and there's still place settings to set. I don't know what's going to happen. How are we going to be able to have a meal if we don't have people doing that? Sir, I may have a suggestion. Sergeant Major, I would love to hear your suggestion. Sir, this officer here seems like he would want to help these people out because he's such a great and amazing officer. You know what, Sergeant Major? I think you are exactly correct. Sergeant Major, would you take this lieutenant over there and show him exactly what he is going to be doing? Yes, sir. It'd be my sincere pleasure to do that. And he comes over and he just kind of salutes him. Lieutenant, thank you so much for caring about my troops, that you're willing to do their work for you. But see, I wasn't... Sergeant Major, do you hear something that does not sound like sir, yes, sir? And he immediately climbs up. No, sir, I think he was just dealing with a little bit of gas. I'm certain that it's all out of the way. Thank you very much, Sergeant Major. Why don't you go ahead and take care of him while I finish doing the actual job that I'm here to do? Yes, sir. And you watch him get taken away. And the captain turns to you. What was your name again, son?
Jacob, sir. Jacob Barley, sir.
You're not in the military. You don't have to sir me.
Yeah, sorry. Got a little... That was very well put.
Petty officer. And he calls someone else over here. And I realize I am mixing up a bunch of different things, but the Marines and the Navy work together all the time, so forgive me if I'm using weird ranks. Petty officer, get over here.
This
take
is the correct ranks in your imaginary world.
Well, see, the weird thing, like Navy, it's just seamen and petty officers, and then the Marines use the regular stuff where you have sergeants and master sergeants and all that stuff. So I'm assuming that the master sergeant is a Marine and everyone else is seaman. So, or Navy. So he goes, petty officer, take him, get him back in line. You, if you try to cut line again, what I just did to him is going to seem very pleasant and understanding. Do we have an understanding?
Absolutely, sir.
All right, get your ass back there. And
Yes,
don't
sir.
let me see you again.
Absolutely.
Now I want chicken. And he wanders off. The petty officer Kika comes over and goes, if you'd come with me, please. And he starts walking you back. But you know that you've got at least about a 5-minute journey. And you only have this petty officer to taking you back.
All right.
When you return...
Bedlam.
Yeah, you return to Bedlam. People are rioting. You can see the lieutenant at this point has been hoisted into the air by one of the larger refugees, and they're just kind of lifting it up, like raising
Hey,
the roof kind of
everyone!
thing. With him going,
Riot!
and he's just sitting there like, we will not be slaves. We are free men.
Jacob just taps the petty officer on the shoulder. Excuse me, petty officer. How long were we gone?
The petty officer is just like completely like pettyofficer.exe has stopped working, has
God.
encountered a critical error. He has no idea what to. This young lady is just sitting there completely flabbergasted. And she just does it. She just kind of looks at you, and she just kind of puts a hand on your shoulder and starts walking backwards with you.
As much as I do appreciate you concerned for my safety, some friends of mine are actually in there. So if you'll excuse me, and I make a break for it towards the riot.
You feel the hand on your shoulder kind of tighten its grip a little bit, but you move so quickly that she's not able to get a good grip before you can go. She goes, wait a minute, I just don't. And then she's like, fuck this shit. And she's gone.
And then I would just like to try, before I meet up with everyone, I would just like to try just to give us a little bit of an extra cover, because now we have chaos happening here. Thank
What
you,
more
everyone.
extra do you need?
I think we can just go.
You sure? You think we can? Because I can add another layer.
60 people are borderline rioting, almost in complete riot. We don't need a Susan added to here.
All right, fine. I swim through the crowd to try to find the disguised party.
We could.
I promise you, we're not in there. We're like,
We're outside.
As you
We've
guys
already
watch,
pushed our way off the ship.
you guys are in a little cafe that's right on the docks, just kind of watching this, and you guys watch as Reggie is kind of led in by this petty officer and sees everything that's happening, and then you watch as Reggie gets ready to start running in, and you guys are just kind of sitting back there watching.
Ready?
Yeah, Reggie stops and he sees you all in the cafe. He goes like, and he just mouths, "Was this you?"
I was like, I was as if to go, what do you think?
And he goes like, and he walks into the cafe.
Okay.
Okay.
The weird question is where they get the beach ball.
All
I
right.
was missing it. Shoot.
All right. So, apparently you've all been busy since I was gone. What happened?
It's not that hard to whip people into a panic.
But
When
that's
Marines
all.
just arbitrarily start snatching people up.
You used me being taken away as
Yes.
like the match to this powder keg.
Are you
It was either
surprised
that or we
we
do
used
fuck all
you?
while you got carted off.
No. Mad respect. That was actually very well done. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Lieutenant Asshole Dickhead, wherever the hell his name is actually is, I don't care enough to know.
Well, luckily we don't have to-
He gave us the ammo.
And it's very true, and luckily we won't have to really care about him for that much longer. Apparently, he yanked me away. The captain himself, his tent is just like down the road over there that way. Yeah, he gave that lieutenant a royal chewing out for pulling me out with, apparently without consent. So, yeah, they all think I was just a line cutter, and I didn't even get a slap on the wrist. I was getting escorted back, and then we just saw all this.
Okay, our official story is we made it through the lines after before that all went to hell. Let's go.
Okay, I'm all for it.
Yay!
So, as you guys are having this conversation, you suddenly see a rush of Marines kind of coming in to try and quell everything down here. And while the captain is not there, you do see the master sergeant and the sergeant that had helped out the captain before, coming in, and you can see a few of the people coming in. You can watch are starting to channel spells and things. You can see a lot of hold persons are being cast. Darkness spells are being cast in various places, and other spells meant to kind of.
I'll throw it on out there. Stink cloud.
Yeah, stink cloud. Oh yeah, stink cloud would be extremely effective on this.
Nice.
It doesn't do any damage, but it makes people retch.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
That is true.
crowd control stuff. There's even you guys even see a few what are they called? Pretty colors. I can't remember what the spell is actually called, but it
Color spray?
color spray.
Pyrotechnics?
No, it's one where they're just it effectively enwraps people.
Hypnotic pattern.
Hypnotic pattern. There we go. So you see a few hypnotic patterns being cast on various parts.
Told you.
And yeah, you guys are approached by the wait staff to go. Unfortunately, it seems that we are closing early today. So here's your bill. If you can pay it now, that would be preferred. And then as everything keeps happening, he's like, it's on the house. And he runs in and closes the door.
But my macchiato.
I didn't even have a chance to order. What the hell?
All right, the beignets are for shit.
Come on,
So-
let's go.
Getting out of the kind of docks area is not particularly difficult, especially with all the kind of chaos going out of there. But once you guys get out past there, you can see the city itself is not exactly what you expected of it. Aoi, I'll say you've probably traveled to Exlos at least once with your
Yeah.
family to watch like the ballet or something here. And so the city itself, it's referred to as, I think it's the moving city or something similar to that. This is the kind of cultural center for dance and movement in general.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of martial arts schools around it, and then there are just tons of dance academies and theaters and other things like that. And so normally walking through the city, you are just constantly seeing people wearing these big, billowy kind of flowing things that allow for freedom of movement, but also look very pretty while you move in them. And as you guys are walking down the streets today, there's nothing.
Oh.
Like you can see people walking around the streets every so often, but they're relatively rare, and they're wearing relatively mundane clothing.
That's weird.
Not military or anything like that, but like the whole city, it's like somebody messed with the contrast knob on the TV or something. All the color and kind of vibrancy of the city are gone. There's no music playing. Normally, you cannot walk a street block without hearing some song playing that somebody is dancing to. And none of that are happening.
Guys, are you feeling a sense of deja vu?
Something feels very, very out of place here.
Does the sky color look fucked up here too?
The sky color's fucked up everywhere.
Everywhere. Okay. That or someone's been very active across the board. I don't know what the hell.
Yeah.
It could be our friend. It could be our other friends. It could be some other new friend we haven't met yet. Apparently, in our case, a friend is someone who hasn't fucked you over yet.
Mm,
As you're looking around, you do pass one of the first martial arts studios that you've seen thus far, and the doors are closed. Generally, how most of these studios work is you have the actual building where the master generally lives in the building, and they have kind of an indoor dojo kind of thing. But then they will also normally have kind of an outdoor area where some of the students will practice in full view of the audience, partially as a training method or full view of the city, partially as a training method and partially as marketing. Effectively advertising these are the things that you could be learning in there. And it's generally considered a bit of an honor to be one of the students that's actually practicing in front of the entire city. This particular studio, no one is out in front of it, and the doors themselves are closed. There are no lights on inside, and nothing.
oh my god. And it's like that, like everywhere.
Everywhere that you're just seeing, like, there are still some businesses that are open, but like places that you expect there to be very lively and full of mirth are very somber and quiet. Like, you've walked past a couple restaurants, some of them have people eating. No one is like, there's no belly laughing, there's no jokes, there's no live music. It's just people that are eating meals and then leaving. You guys haven't made it to the theater district yet because it's pretty far into the city. But as far as entertainment venues and the things like that, a lot of times there are street performers on every corner that are busking effectively. It's nothing. What would y'all like to do?
Well, our intent, I feel like we may have wandered a little in and off the mark. We kind of need to find who do we need to talk to about finding a dry dock so we can get the ship in.
Obviously, someone in the docks district would be your best bet. How?
Private.
Go ahead. Oh, okay. Brain just completely just went bye. No idea what I was gonna say. It was probably not important though. So, if you guys want to, I'll let you roll investigation, insight, or we can go survival too. If you guys want to try and see if you can find someone that'll be able to get you a dry dock without asking too many questions.
Alright.
18.
18.
And what did you guys? What skill did you guys
Let's
use?
see.
Investigation.
So investigation, survival. Howie?
I 14 for investigation.
Okay. Reggie, are you going to make any rolls or no?
Let me see. I'll make one. Yeah, it's not much. 13.
13, yeah. So between Smegwick and Arai, you guys kind of wander your way through the docks district, doing your best to avoid the what seems to be increasingly large military presence there, because apparently since the riot, they have been putting more and more troops in, and so you have to get further and further away from the dock where Declan's ship is docked. But eventually, you find this counting house that doubles as a management house for a few of the different docks and dry docks in that particular area, and you can see this elderly human kind of sitting behind a desk, slowly counting coins and things behind it, and doesn't even acknowledge you as you could come in.
Excuse me.
Yes.
We were looking for permission permission to dry dock.
I do not provide permissions. I sell contracts. If you're here to buy use of one of my dry docks, we can talk. Otherwise, permit yourself to leave this premise. He goes back to counting.
What's the rate?
Depends on what exactly you're booking.
We just need a place to dry dock so we can do repairs. It's friggin' hard to find a spot right now. Whatever the hell's going on, we just came in.
Really? Make me a deception check.
Everybody helping me or I'm rolling flat?
You're rolling flat.
Ah, shit. Sweet, 28.
Ah, thank God.
You see him kind of looking at you up and down. Okay. So, how large of a dock do you need?
What? I don't know how long we need
You're-
for Presti to do the repairs.
He's asking how large.
Oh, cargo ship. A cargo ship.
All right. And how long were you thinking about using it for? Say,
Determined amount of time.
yeah. We'll say you guys are thinking probably at least a week for all the
Yeah.
repairs that you need.
Alright.
All right. Small dry dock for a week. Said you're going to be using your own men, right?
Yeah. Like we can afford anybody else.
So, going to be self-repair tax added on to that. Supplies tax.
How much do I have?
For a week, it's going to be 600 gold pieces.
Yeah.
How much do I
Oh, we have the funds, but right now, is there any shot I have? Because now he's just basically he's listed off a bunch of stuff. We should have the stuff to do our own repairs.
Absolutely. The additional fees that he's listed have been taxes.
Yep.
So if you would like to negotiate those taxes, you're welcome to. And depending on how you want to do it, I'll have you roll a different check. But
If I could roll deception again, I'd be perfectly happy to. 'Cause I mean, like,
Yeah,
Matt,
that's
What part of this says money backs to you? Does it look like I'm a man of leisure? Does it look like that? You should see our ship, mate. It's friggin' sad. It's pitiful. We got a dry dock. We got what?
make
Do these pockets look flush to you?
make me a deception check. You're very lucky that I am the person rolling here.
17.
Yeah, you're extremely lucky that I'm the person rolling here. So he looks at it, he's like, all right. I think
Come
we
on,
can-
mate. Have heart. Come on.
I think we can deal with this another way. If I could go down to 500 gold. If you clean the docks after you're done using them.
It's reasonable.
Clean the door for service for stuff. Come on, 400. Come on.
Make me a persuasion check.
Of course, I do. It's going way up.
May I chip in by doing my best puppy dog guys going. Sir?
Go ahead and give me a persuasion check, and if you roll high enough, I'll let you assist.
Okay.
Please, sir.
Please, sir, I want some more.
Okay. Nope. It's a 9.
Yeah, he seems completely immune to your puppy dog eyes. So
Damn it.
what do you got for your persuasion check?
Of course,
Damn
now I roll for crap.
You know, I just remembered that I've got another person in line for that, and they were willing to pay me 700 gold for the week. I wouldn't be able to let it go.
If
for
we
anything
scrounge
less
it
than
up, we
that.
can do 500. But you, come on.
500's no longer on the table.
Oops.
Remember, I have another person willing to pay 700, and I would feel very bad to displace them for anything less than 750.
Alright.
Not coin, but I don't think we can afford 750.
Do we?
We do have coin.
Take it or
Oh.
leave it.
Quick question. Now, one, I know this is probably like he can't be the only dry dock. I understand we're limited on space. I know where
From
he's at
the
here.
rolls that you guys have done, this is the dry dock that is going to give you everything that you're looking for. Other ones are going to ask a lot more questions or inform the Marines that you're going to be here. So there's a premium to secrecy, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
If we don't have enough,
We
in
have
the bank,
enough.
should we? Oh, okay.
We have enough, but he's gouging the shit out of us.
Yeah,
What
unfortunately,
happens
we're
when you
not-
negotiate
we're-
poorly?
I actually
Yeah.
rolled really good. You just made me roll nothing.
Because you did negotiate, and you got it dropped 100 gold. That was a very big drop.
yeah,
That's
I know.
still a massive gouge.
When I was detained in that tent, did any of the guards actually say that captain's name?
No.
Damn it. Okay, never mind.
We're
Or
screwed.
you- well, you can still say the captain. You just probably wouldn't drop his name. Most people wouldn't call him by his name.
Well, most non-military personnel would probably call him Captain last name, because that's how you address people in the military, or by his first name. It's only military personnel would only refer to someone by their rank. It's not an extremely common thing for non-military personnel to call someone by their rank, mostly because most non-military people don't know how to read rank. If they see a bird on somebody's shoulder, they're going to have no idea what that means.
Means they have a bird on their shoulder.
It means that they're a Beastmaster Ranger.
Yeah.
And I implore you, please do not go up to a full bird colonel and go, "Oh, Beastmaster Ranger!" So it's take it or leave it. If you guys want to try your luck to try and find another dry dock, it's going to be significantly harder than this time. For no other reason than you have pissed off someone already. So if you guys need more money, you're in a city that offers jobs. So there's always a chance that you can find a job to do here. It might be boring work, but there's always work to be found.
We can't afford it. The guy's gouging the shit out of us.
That's how it works.
What?
Bad rolls have consequences, just like good rolls have consequences. So
No, apparently I can have a good roll, but then I simply throw out try to bargain down, and I get punished for it. But it's fine since I
Yeah,
rolled like
that's-
crap.
that's how it works.
I
You
know, but most
negotiated. You succeeded, so you got it lowered. You negotiated, then you failed so miserably that you didn't even tell me what your roll was. So I treated it as a low roll, and
Or
you
also-
increased the price.
yeah.
That's how it
Most
works.
people
Like,
Most
that's-
people don't budge on the price. They don't suddenly jack it back up. But okay,
Yeah, if someone in the criminal underworld feels like you are trying to abuse them, then yes, they will punish you for doing that. That's how it works.
Come on.
So, to get things moving, take it or leave it. If you guys don't want to, we can go through you trying to find a different dry dock. If you want to take it, then take it.
So we're completely out of options with this guy.
He
Yeah.
is not going to negotiate anymore. You have insulted him.
Yeah. You got it.
Using a dry dock for a week for 500 gold is not the worst price in the world. Is it the cheapest ever? No, but it's not an unheard of price point.
Come on. Let's just pay him.
Well, I'm sorry. Are you saying 500?
500
No,
was
he's-
what he offered you when you negotiated well. It is 750 now.
Okay.
Yeah.
I say we find somewhere else.
Oh.
We're going to have to roll very well to find somewhere else.
Yeah.
That's the issue. Like we could do that if you want.
And you have
Yeah.
also part of the negotiation. Again, the silence comes at a premium. Part of the negotiation is you have informed him that you are looking for people to not ask questions. So now, if you go back on the negotiation, there's
I don't
someone
think we
out
brought
there.
that up.
Which is why I said silence comes with a premium. That was
Okay.
part of the that was part of the rolls that you guys made. So
Mm.
he is aware that you wouldn't be coming to him if you could go to any dry dock.
What?
He's aware of this.
Okay.
This is how all of this stuff works. So if you guys want to keep looking, you are more than welcome to. But it's getting a little bit late, so we might do that in the next session. So you can make the decision right now. You can take it or you can go.
Damn.
Okay.
Take it.
Yeah, fine.
I would rather spend the coin than
Yeah.
have to figure another place and potentially risk the flying fish sticks being seen.
Mm.
Okay.
All right. So he goes, all right. I'll have the dry dock ready for you within the hour. Just bring your ship over. And he gives you a note. Show them this when you dock. Hope you have a lovely stay in Exelos.
Thank you, and apologies for the trouble.
And he goes back to counting his coins. Unfortunately, that is where we're going to end it for tonight. As always, if you missed any of this, I do upload all these to my YouTube channels, youtube.com/TrainerJody. Otherwise, again, that's all for me today, and I will see you guys in the next time. All right? Bye-bye.
Bye.